Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Great War portion of the Daily Mughals series. The year is now 1803, and already this was, in fact, by the number of total casualties, I know the number has gone down recently because of nations like the Commonwealth are no longer part of the war as it was in the last episode, as we will sort these by war enthusiasm so we'll know who will be the one that's most likely to leave the war next. On our side, it's Venice, but others may follow suit later on, except for Brabant. That's under a personal unit of France, so that cannot be negotiated. But just based on those numbers, including, you know, the big armies that we fought in earlier years like Yarkand, Bukhara, a couple of others whose names escapes me, and of course Florence and Genoa that are now out of the war because we forced them to by taking their capitals as we got the Italian front secured. And subsequently, in fact, I think this war has most likely exceeded the number of total casualties than all the coalition wars of the Napoleonic Wars combined. Yes. So for Mughals, or for us, we only lost 656,000, which is just horrific. 128,000 for Venice, 141 for Great Britain. Whereas for countries like, well, the colonies, British colonies of Cuba, Brazil, 13 colonies, and Argentina has not faced any combat in a year. They're mostly on the defense or unable to be transferred to any relevant fronts where they must fight. Whereas over there, troops of Terra Austral and Athens is yet to face combat, but look at the number of the Ottomans. 851,000. While 283,000 for France. But the number of ships lost is quite about, you know, and all that. Possibly more ships, but of course, we'll look up the final tally of this death. That, oh God, that. I'm at a loss for words here. I mean, it's the deadliest war I've ever been part of. And hopefully we do not see a war like that in the Croatian series. No, because, you know, Croatia, in that other playthrough of mine, I try my damnedest to avoid a world war of any kind. But here in the Mughals, we didn't realize the consequences ever since February 24th. In fact, almost to the day of. Entering the 4th year of the war now. Yes, we were crazy to all sign up for this. And a lot died. But we are on the verge of reaching our war goal. Constantinople, is just right across from us. See? We're just right across from us. All we need is the Navy. Then this, in fact, let me start over. There is a strategy for 1803. The fleet is to defeat the Ottoman fleet. For this one, it's mostly galleys. After you sink the heavy ship, then it's going to be all galleys from there to sink them easy. Because we have the big guns on these ships. And then we will get them off of the Sea of Marmara. And our objective, besides taking Constantinople, which will win us the war, but however, we do not want to win the war that way just yet. It's grasslands, hills. These hills, and grasslands here. We have to cover the front. Get them to fight on a ground where they cannot refuse. Especially there. Whatever weakest army that you got, you'll be going over there. Lure them over here. So, how many armies is that that'll participate? Oh, okay, I don't have to count. So it's 10 armies. So, 10 armies will be covering Thrace. And once we're there, and since it has a very good supply limit, and we will build one last supply depot here in Thrace to keep the ground covered for many armies to be stationed there, while a couple of more throughout there, and a couple more in reserve. While meanwhile, the Ottoman army that's down there, well, they're on their way here. And they're looking to take Thrace, while we're sending 120,000, including assisted by Lana and Daiviat, who will be following us. Kambak Shahabuddin will be leading the charge to fight on in Mosul. Yes, back in the old Persian Al-Jazeera front. So that's the area. Almost part of that subcontinent. But there'll be more friendly reinforcements on their way, or they're gonna get together, or whatever the hell they're doing these days. And of course, with the Vietnamese Navy blockading the French fleet there. So again, our objective is to, due to the large amount of transports, and there's a reason why they've been sailing that way, and I realized their intentions. Not only to fight against them, which they'll have to get through that first. It's to try to get to Mexico, because there's this other fleet there, which is currently being blockaded now. It's to prevent the French army from leaving America. From leaving the New World. So that way, it'll prevent the French from being reinforced into the European theater. Well, now, speaking of Europe, what's this region in particular? Italy. Italy, South Germany areas. This particular front, the Italian front we would call it officially. We suffered a massive defeat in Mantova because we were horribly outnumbered. And these three armies are currently retreating towards Venetia. But the other four armies are currently retreating up to Linz in the mountains. So we are horribly surrounded, but quite honestly, this is the safest place to be because because of these mountain fortresses between, so you got a reasonable place to retreat. But they need to be reinforced. So we are sending you to the Bay of Alexandria. These armies, 5 armies that are currently in the Egyptian front, and we've noticed a trend of them leaving this way. And it's going to take a while for them to return. And we got what we wanted in occupying this area, that we will create the Suez Canal out of it. Which is one of the very few territorial gains I want from the Ottomans themselves. So we're going to be on the defense for most of this year. So, breach. And hopefully they surrender. And get them over to Exkenderia. Exkenderia. Turkish name for Alexandria. They have to get to Alexandria immediately. When it falls, a transport fleet will go pick up all of them. Well, at least most of them. Yes, most of you. And then we will send you to Europe. It's to prevent the collapse of Venice. We don't want them to get pieced out of this war. Because the war enthusiasm is rather low at the moment, but we're trying to give them hope. And also we do have a contingency plan. Well, what happens when Venice falls? Where do we stand? Well, just because we're in Commonwealth, despite, even though the Commonwealth is out of the war, but I tell you what, fleet basing rights. Because, you know, technically we can still come across Commonwealth territory, so we have military access. So that means we can get these guys out of Venice in case it does collapse and fall. Then we have a new place to make a stand. One last obstacle before they get to Thrace. Because I noticed the terrain. It's mostly highlands here. Because there's highlands here, mountains there, highlands, hills, mountains. Especially the Herzegovinian mountains. What is Zoskop, Ohrid, Niže, Kosovo, Albania. These are the mountainous areas. Last obstacle. So, our plan is for our navy to duke them out one more time with us, then into the Sea of Marmara, and then the access will be opened to Constantinople. And after that area falls, and then we'll scatter them throughout Thrace, as we will have an increased supply limit to distribute the position of the armies evenly. And it would be most wise to send in the one with the lowest amount, not necessarily wise, but for a place to make a stand here. And I would want them to fight in Gomelsine, that area in Thrace. Not only it's hills, but it's also river crossings. That would be penalty 2 for the enemy. Yes. And of course there are mountains in Greece as well, that Macedonia area. But that's kind of far off. So these armies will be safe from annihilation. So they'll be safe until relief arrives from Egypt. So this is going to hopefully be our war-winning strategy. I mean, we will take the capital, but holding it will be another challenge in itself. If we do take the objective, would this lower the war enthusiasm due to the length of the war still continuing on and all that? Oh, also Moria, another highland territory, but that's far off. So that's our plan. So hope for Alexandria to fall immediately. Disease outbreak, damn! This means 16 more days. But they're on the move, they'll be on their way. It's up to the Navy now. And of course, actions to take place very soon. To Sinjar. Unless we scare them off. This is now the 1st of March. Oh, they're about to get themselves in a mess. Okay, so tell you what. Since France is going to try to besiege Carinzia, hopefully they do not collapse by then. Because there's so many of these bastards out there now. And it's going to be hard pressed for us to even fight. Hence the reason why we have to send the armies from Egypt to Europe. The Aegean Sea taking place. We will engage the enemy in 4 days. Gather around. With the blockade present, this will help make sure that the city falls. They're getting crushed out there. But this is at an area where we want the French to fight in mountains, so we can have the advantage. That's why we must reinforce here. And meanwhile, we should defeat them here. And we'll be assisted by Japanese forces in a couple of days. Armies are now in position at Venice. They're gonna have to rest up until relief arrives. Well done. Okay, till 15th of March. Oh my goodness. We sunk 51 of these galleys and we captured 14 of them. It's a lovely day. Now, Marmara. It's time to open up the strait. Open up the Bosphorus. How you feeling, Venice? How you feeling? Not good, but yes, I know there's a lot of them out there and they're going to be occupying your provinces soon, but just hang on, alright? Relief will be arriving. We need to get the French to fight in an area where they cannot refuse. It's the only surefire way to defeat them. In a pitched battle, at least one. Oh, you're fighting in the jungle. They actually attacked you. So therefore, it's occupied. Therefore, jungle is French advantage. Inspiration leader. But if they can hold on, they'll be reinforced in a couple of days by the forces of British Mexico. English culture. Just making sure who they are exactly. Again, we'll be ready to depart soon. The way is clear. Let's move on. Can't go that way until this area falls. Once this area falls, then evenly distribute your positions. All aboard. Yes, we can fit everybody in there. And remember, this is going to kill off our manpower reserves for this. Yes, I just noticed this just now. But if you want to be core in these new areas, well then, you can get them. 4 field rotation. This is just for production efficiency. So you have researched all technologies in this group. Because that's it for this age. And the idea of a field howitzer is non-existent in this modern war. It's our turn now. We killed them all here. Well, son of a beeswax, there's a fortress up there. I mean, not a fortress, a castle up there in the mountains. Okay, here's what you're gonna do. You need to get up there immediately. And once you're done, transfer your lot to here. Unless if need be, transport a couple to the other front. There's no reason to be fighting up there anymore. Unless we could scare them off of there, which would be most wise. Again, we've got to convince them to come down here. But fortunately, these mountain fortresses will protect a vulnerable position. Just wait for reinforcements, okay? It ain't over yet. Anyway, just in case you do fall, leave basing rights too. So that way, if you do collapse in this war, well then we need to get our troops out of there. You know, we gotta evacuate them. Hopefully it'll be a success for this. But you are to depart on the 1st of April. One final breach. This capital will fall. The objective will be taken. The war would be technically won, but we would rather kill a lot more of them before we even start to begin negotiations. Would you look at that? Can the British actually defeat the French morale up there? In the jungle even, on their home turf? Oh, they got a good dice roll. Right, you are to depart now. Just looking at their positions of where we can fight them. I mean, you can land in Commonwealth territory. The only crossing is Ragusa. Maybe we should land in Lika. And then we'll defeat the Ottomans there. There could be more reinforcements on the way, but we can't guarantee everything. Because if you want to get their war enthusiasm back up a little, the ones that are currently besieged right now, need to get them off. Kill off some of the manpower reserves of the Ottomans. So this will do. Salika. Just to make a quick drop off. Though there might be a few ships along the way, but let the big ships handle it. It's just going to be, not necessarily like a speed bump at sea, but you know what I mean. 4, 3. Yeah, just let them. Damn, we just can't get them to fight on our own terms. How's it do ring around Rosie? About to gauge 2 ships out there. 2, 1. Constantinople's fallen. How do you feel now for all of you? I know how they feel. They'll probably start asking for negotiations. Alliance war score. Now you found your courage to fight on. Okay. Supply depot here. How much is that in the garrison? It's 300. Well, just in case they take the objective, refill it. So you will have the distinction of being positioned out there. Supply limit's 110. Come on in, fellas. Take up position here. You go up there. We told him to go that way. You hold here. The rest of us will stay here. It's the bite and hold tactic. We bite Thrace, and we will hold it. Once all the armies are all across here, then we got them. You get, apparently, like, originally you're supposed to go over there, but if these 2 armies lingering around, well then we can't let them regroup to all the other ones. For all the other remaining participants. Okay, 1 withdrew, but now they're outnumbered. So the French army withdrew here. Sunk them both and captured the transport. The morale's going to go down very fast because they're outnumbered. Oh no. Bad news. Venice has quit the war. Stalemate, so that means they went for white peace. That means they stopped besieging. Thought they had the courage, but now we are in a very vulnerable position. Pressure's on us. They're all gonna look at us now. Fine. But at least you're out of the misery now. Quick! To the mountain passes. I know your all morales ain't full yet, but let's stick together up here. Your last stand. We know there's a French army out there, so now there's no obstacle. It's up to us now. We have the objective, which if we were to begin negotiations now. So what would you want? Seize it back to give territories back to the Commonwealth. I could see that. Some calls away to Azov. I mean, that's a nice offer, but what about Suez? And here, yeah. Does anyone have a permanent claim? Nobody. Quite honestly, had the Commonwealth stayed in the war, I would have been most willing to give Constantinople to the Commonwealth because they deserved it. But guess they're not gonna get it, and I guess I'll get it for myself then. Because you know, the Hagia Sophia. So, if you're Sunni, then it gives you these. Especially the piety. And the ulema would be more loyal to us. %. Hey, wait a minute. And the Ottomans' ulema loyalty is 46. Oh, okay, I see that. That's a little interesting detail. Landed Zara. We gotta cut them off. We can kill them out there with these kind of numbers that we have. Can't let... Remember your backup plan? To make a stand in the Balkans and the Herzegovinian mountain range, as well as the mountains of Albania and Macedonia? Might as well implement that plan, because they are gonna look at us now. And if need be, transport them and then land here, then get up there quickly as possible to go save them, then retreat down there. So we need to kill, 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 while they will, as we said before, bite and hold. Okay then. Again, we practically won the war, but I want to keep going for a couple of more months. And they're going to be returning to Egypt soon. But we only did that just to get them out of here. So Venice is out. Well, soon to be our turn. Venice is no longer with us. So we have to get moving and make a stand. We have just arrived, and we are to meet them here, even ground. It's all up to you. Good luck. And if necessary, we'll pick you guys up if these guys are in a desperate need of help. I mean, all the enemy armies are out this way. Again, we gotta get them to fight in a terrain where they cannot refuse. We're tired of fighting in the flat ground. Now we have to fight them to the place where we desire. Now here's an idea. Who's following us? Vietnamese? Actually, no. There's a damned castle in the way. We'll head to there instead. And take it. Don't breach it. They're trying to run away. They know this is not a winning battle for them. Bloody French army out there. In fact, that's Sultan himself. Killing a lot of them, but when it's fire, that's when they're at their best. Crud. No, it's not been detected. It's the... No, we detected theirs. That's what it is. You misread. Of course you misread. got a good, very good dice roll. Now, that's gonna definitely hurt them. They're withdrawing now. Good job. With minimum casualties too, even though. What is the standard for minimum casualties? I gotta stop with these stupid jokes because fighting out here is no laughing matter. Remember, Herzegovina. It's not a good place, you know, supply-wise, but Bosnia will do. Gotta lure him over here. He'll be stationed over there. Islam Shah will be in The other two follow. We're leaving this one open in Herzegovina. Gotta convince them to come over here, while the other ones are gonna remain behind. Though it's possible we may evacuate them. Or we're just waiting for possible French aggression. Like your plan. Love that distribution. Just occupy it first and you get what you want. I mean, they're on their way, so... Attack all armies, force march. We could evacuate you out of here. But no, we need to stall them. Even France is starting to feel it too. Get. Didn't want to do this, but let's just have this idea that about to say, excuse me, which army are you attached to? Okay, you're attached to us, okay. There's only 4 of us out here. It's just we need to get them surrounded. Again, get them to fight on our terms. They will try to retake some areas, but if they try to retake any, say, highlands, that's where they'll have to fight them, and it'll be easy to kill them off. Yeah, Herzegovina, not a favorable place. Can't build a supply depot here because this is not... God, position yourself here. This is just to even it. Sorry, not for everyone. Okay, again. Place where we must hold. We're leaving ourselves vulnerable. Whatever they're up to, we'll get them. There he is. That's that French general who's been killing us. Where's he going? Salzburg? Damn Alps in the way. What if we lead them in a false sense of security? No? They're not budging. And this is woods. The woods and river crossing. Hey. The ones with the weakest troops, move out this way. We need to convince them to get them to fight here. It's just woods and we'll kill them easy. But their movement's locked, so they've already committed themselves. We're trying to lure them. Same ways they're trying to lure them to the Herzegovinian mountain range. This also has hills. Visoki. It's another good place. Okay, in fact, you move up there. You're all in good terrain. Well, that... If they think where I think they're going, through Ankara, then we have a chance. It's nice to see you Asians here. Son of a beeswax, they know our every move! They appear to infiltrate our administration till we can root out their informers. They will have access to our state secrets. They know our every move, just as we know theirs. Yes, they're returning to Egypt. Every single one of them, but we'll get them back. We're just daring them to come over here. We dare them big time. Now they're going down this way. It's dry land. Of course they'll go for flat ground. Come over here. Where's the bloody French army? We're looking for them. We're not hunting for them. We're just trying to... No, they're not coming here. I know we're not supposed to stand here due to all this attrition. If you attack in any way, they have the height advantage. Oh, if they're doing what I think they're doing, this is gonna be good. Come on, attack us. What are you waiting for? We're trying to goal them into attacking us. But instead they appear to be, well, doing what they're doing. They've stopped. Damn it! What are they doing? Come on, we're simply opening a door for them. Scare them off. Just back them in the corner. Donia Cry has hills. There they are. Come on, we're waiting for you. You know they'll throw every single one they got, but we will have the heights. Confident that we will hold. And we can evacuate them out of here and then reinforce and then get them to run up here if need be. So I think they're gonna set up to fight here. Remember, if not the mountains, then definitely here, because they'll have to take a river crossing in any direction. Except for Alta Carinzia. And, Gorizia. If they ever come through that way, then we're boned. If they're smart enough. Wait a minute. Might as well go join. Well, what do you know? There's a French army, Oh, we know that, General. I think he transferred. Well, then who is this one running the French army, then? Yeah, it's a different one. Different general. We do know that Mexico is safe. So they've retreated one to this direction and the other through down there. Keep forgetting the names of their armies. Well, meanwhile, they've returned. And this will only slow them down a little. God blasted Highlands. Just get them to change directions. Keep them running. It's like we're trying to herd cattle. Again, try to goal them into a fight where they cannot refuse. We are an inviting target. So that's a different general who has no leadership trait. So he's heading to Steiermark. Come on, attack us. We dare you. We are in a very good position. Yes, they are attacking us. Battle will begin soon. It'll be here in Bassa Carinzia. So again, if an enemy were to attack the mountains, the dice roll attackers would be -2. But due to the woods, that's -1 penalty. And in addition, so it'll be just like in the mountains. So they'll be throwing their lot over here. So this is probably it. The reinforcements are far away now. It's just we want. We want a one-on-one battle with the French. But instead they sent out a general who moves his army very fast. Is very good with siege and shock, but not as good under fire. When his movement is locked, commit. Many more might possibly come, but we can't guarantee it. Battle that we wanted all along. And our war enthusiasm is 5. If we try to kill off their best troops, in fact, how many are there? 142,000. Mainly infantry and artillery. Classic Napoleonic warfare standard. Even though they bring very little cavalry. That's half of their entire French force in Europe. While about over 40,000, as you can see, total of infantry and artillery. over 40,000, but not right now, based on that current amount, is down there in South America, where they retreated to. And another 34,000 in British Mexico. And a few more thousands in Mexico and Alaska. French fleet still out there? Is that what's going on? So forces of English Columbia will assist them to get them out. And we know that the French morale tends to be very high, and look! The manpower reserves are low. The British have done a really good job at killing off their manpower reserves. Again, we won the war, but the war cannot be won unless France is defeated at a pitched battle at an area of our own choosing. We need to break their morale, because that's how they keep on fighting and they keep besting us. But fortunately, they do not have the general who is the master of arms. He's been transferred for now. So the battle is to begin on the 6th. And I know not many of us are fully reinforced yet. But just try to stay confident. This is largely going to be a one-on-one battle. Possible reinforcements may come from Mughals. And from there. And if they do change directions and head this way, then all these forces that are stationed in the Balkans has to go up there. Again, this is the battle that's fought in the inner Austria area. Carinzia, as it's known in the Venetian Italian language. So you can say, yes, Venice may be out of the war, but not us. Get ready. Well, actually, you're all close to Ragusa, so technically. And this is going to be our last battle where the cavalry will be performing at their very best. Because where is it? The elephants in Europe modifier. Here, cavalry combat ability. War elephants have appeared in Europe for the first time since the days of Hannibal. Our last battle, where our cavalry will perform excellently. It cannot be matched. So, quite possibly the last bloodiest battle of the war. Again, we're going to try to scare them into going to Ankara. If they go that way, then we'll have the heights advantage to dislodge them and kill a bunch of them out there. Glad you Vietnamese are with us. You may recall a long time ago, we sent officers to train you to be fighting just like us. Wish I would have done the same for Commonwealth and Venice had they remained in the war. So, if we defeat them out there in Carinzia, their war enthusiasm should be low, and we gotta get them pieced out, and then piece out the rest of them. This coming fall, after this bloodletting, this will be, this is gonna be our war-winning strategy here. And we'll send more reinforcements if necessary. We did a very good job at the positioning of the troops here, including here. So I will say yes, I will take the Suez Canal. In addition, take Constantinople, although I may sell the province to Commonwealth because, again, they truly deserve it. And as well as give some of the lands that they've lost back to the Commonwealth. Alright, we know what's coming up. The French, which is under it's Army de Orléans. Orléans. I'm not fluent in French, but it is under the command of Henry de la Motte de Iran. So they'll be here on the 6th of September. If the movement is locked, then the armies must fully commit. We're luring them over here. They we'll be taking a river crossing in addition to fighting in the woods, which is to our advantage. It's just as advantageous fighting in the mountains, but had they taken that river crossing from Steiermark into Alta Carinzia, then we would have definitely killed them out here. So we will be there as quickly as possible. And then if the reinforcements from there are coming, then so are we. And if it's not enough, I'm willing to commit some of them to be sent out there. Yes. Again, we practically won the war, because we took the objective. We got what we want. But now I want to systematically defeat the French to avenge our losses. You men there, most of you have been fighting in Central Asia, fighting against Yarkand, Bukhara, Bashkiria, and then you fought to defend the Polish until they left the war. Which you fought well, but so did they. They were fighting well themselves before we even arrived, but it wasn't enough. But you did make quite an effort in knocking Florence and Genoa out of the war. And you did well here. And then in this deadly battle here in Mantova, where some of the armies are still stationed over there, interestingly enough. So, yes, we suffered another defeat here. But it matters not, because now we're going to be fighting our own terms. Fight on the high ground, in the woods, in the river of Carinzia, which is also known as Carinthia. But it's under Venetian territory. Venice may be out of the war, but we are not. We are the last army standing of the old Mughal European Expeditionary Force. Even though a few of you were reinforced from other fronts, like say Syria. And it's led by the general who fought in the deadliest of battles. Susta, Krakow, Zendovets, Mantova, and now here in Bassa Carinzia. This will be our last stand. We've withdrawn a few times, but we know, we have learned from the British that they've done a very good job of killing off their manpower here, but now it's up to us to deal with the rest, so they cannot reinforce anymore. Or they'll reinforce, but slowly, but surely. So we have to make sure that the French lose the battle, and it'll knock their war enthusiasm down with the lack of military strength. With them out of the war, possibly, then we'll get a much more favorable peace deal from the Ottomans. Carinzia will be the graveyard of French pride. It'll be fought in the woods here. So all I could say to you, men, is good luck. We're all counting on you. Hindustan counts on you. India counts on you. Hindus, Muslims, everybody. We all count on you. Get ready. They might move in. If they're willing to commit. Check their movement. If it's locked, move in. 1st of September. Move in! We will arrive at the 8th. 2 days after this battle begins. Fleets arrived in Ragusa in case they need to be reinforced. But it looks like they've changed directions. Almost every single unit's on the move. I think some of them will commit. If not, then it's going to be up to us. Let's move out. Let's make Bassa Carinzia our thermomuli. These are the last reinforcements just sent. Yeah, they took a crossing. We fully commit our reserves here, but remember, the morale is going to be an issue. No matter how well we perform, we know there might be more enemy reinforcements arriving, so get to Ragusa now! may take a couple of more weeks. Five shock versus 5 shock, but we have more fire than they do. He's got no leadership trait. We have land fire damage. No retreat. We will not withdraw again. This is going to be our last stand. Just hang on. Yeah, we suspected the Ottomans are coming. We're ready to back up. Be there on the 25th. Come on. What are you waiting for? So yes, they're losing it big time. A couple more days. Because they just reinforced. Got a bad roll, but the morale is just... They still have more than we do. So we should land at Istria, then work our way up, because they're gonna go this way. Come on, get in. Get in. Istria, quickly. Enemy reinforcements moving this way. They're all coming. All of Europe is coming. Go through there. Cut off their reinforcements and then go save them. They can't do it alone. I was not aware of a battle being taking place there, because this was not the main focus of the conflict, but it appears casualty-wise they fought very well. They withdrew. Yeah. Good on you. In fact, go take Trabzon. Another mountain fortress that has to be taken. Since they're drawing away from here. Move up. Because we just dropped you off and more might be needed. Guaranteed safe passage. Make sure they don't leave. Revolution in Scandinavia, but meanwhile there's a goddamned... Oh, just kill them already. If you don't get here fast enough, we'll lose this battle. Because they're throwing their lot at us. Because all of Europe is coming. Alexandria's fallen back to the Ottomans. They still got one more obstacle to go if we want that Suez Canal. Okay, we've killed them all here. We'll be there. Hang on. When are we coming? Let us know. On the 17th, just a few more days, but it's not going to look like that right now based on that nice roll. That's another one in Anatolia. Sorry, we can't fit everybody in here. Some of you are just going to be left behind. 150,000 of you. No retreat. They've switched generals to someone much better. And he just took a crossing penalty along the terrain. There you go. Just hold on for one more day. Reinforcements arriving. It's gonna be their flaw. And more will be on the way. Just try to hold on for another couple of days. Until they withdrew. Because more are still coming. We got a good roll this time. A bit of shock. They got the fire on us, but again, valiant last stand. That was our intention. Good roll. For the love of God. Yes, every single man's been prioritized to move up here. All of you have force march on, right? Yes, sir. It's the fastest way. We'll be there later this November, if you can even hold on to November. But it looks like they're turning back. I think we have the battle won here, even though it's very close. It's just that damned morale of theirs. I think it's too late now. It's too late. Yeah. We said no retreat. But they got us. They got us. We've really killed the heck out of them. Yes, we may have lost the war score on that one, but damn it, it was a great effort. Where are you all going, by the way? Back to friendly lines. Okay. Yeah, we really killed off the French. Yeah, it's due to woods terrain and all that. Try to avenge their defeat. Let's go kill a couple more of them. Like crazed fanatics. You know, the morale's not there for this. You know, we're fighting in not in our time, but the cruel behavior of uncouth officers. Many streams creates a large flood. A proverb that unfortunately proved true in our protectorate. Small events, barely noticeable, but great slights to those who witnessed or were exposed to them. Together with older complaints and bitter memories from when the country became our protectorate, became the final straw. The deplorable, no, cruel behavior of officers we sent has led to rift and a bad relationship between us and the protector. We need to teach our officers to become gentlemen. Yeah, we'll lose this battle, but let's kill a few of them. So that way, just to show that we are avenging it, even though it's not going to look good on our paper, but hey, you did well. So you can't withdraw yet, but tell us when. These will be our last battles. We gave them a last stand, and yes, we may have lost, but none of you want to fight anymore. That's good. These are valiant defeats we may have had. This was indeed our last stand. And look what got into their mood. They don't want to fight anymore. Good to know. So we can tell these countries to quit the war. Say they can't handle it anymore. Meanwhile, in other areas, where the French might be. I mean, yeah, they're still out there, but the British did a very good job. And yes, we have fully ran out of our manpower by the time we fully reinforced, so I think we should call it an end to this war now. But we'll begin negotiations, starting with each and every one of them. So consider this as an armistice. Yes, Ottoman casualties have exceeded 1 million. Well, nearly 500,000 for the French, because we really took it to them. Even though we couldn't best them, no matter how many reinforcements we sent, nor the timing of it. But, damn it, we gave them a good fight. 908,000 loss for us. Although we might still take a couple of more casualties due to attrition because we'll all be going home. So let's begin negotiations, starting with France. Listen, we kicked the crap out of you. We got back at you, didn't we? And of course, Britain did the most of the fighting to kill off the manpower reserves, but it's like, yes, we may have lost, but we've avenged the Polish and the Venetians with the amount of lives the French troops that they lost. So. Of course, they're not willing to accept any kind of war scores because it needs to be at 10, but I don't care. I just want you out, alright? Just for starters. May look like a stalemate between us, but it is what it is. Okay, that's step 1. Now, number 2. Yeah, this was also to increase the war score, another reason why we did that. Saxony, leader of the Holy Roman Empire. We beat up your troops before, but obviously we can't make such demands because the war score isn't there. So, that's 2. We've annihilated your entire army once back in the Italian front. So that increases the war score a little more. This is what we mean. Get them out of the war to get a favorable peace deal. And the next day, Baden, another one of the big contributors of manpower. Never took your territory. So, you're out too, because of war enthusiasm. For us, further increase the war score. You may take it all back, but, recall him back here. Just hang on. Stalling for time. While we're in total retreat. Wow. Battle ends a withdrawal. What the hell are you doing up here? Get out of there. You're gonna make us look bad. I understand you're firing your shots in anger, but... Well, we told you to withdraw. So yeah, there was another battle up here. Just refused to lay down their arms. Not necessarily lay down their arms as much as, yes, the war is coming to an end. And just fought the last remaining battles. Hey. line. Because, we gotta go save Egypt. Yeah, last couple of angry shots of these kind of hellacious battles that we're fighting. Yes, armies exiled. Yes, we understand. Mother of God, I think I realized. Since some of you are coming back, turn around. Don't leave him behind. No man left behind. You make us look bad on our permanent record. Vietnamese will defeat a few. Days. Okay, we can negotiate, get another one out of the war. Uturek. We're just reducing them one by one. Uturek. No, that's Augsburg, we ask. Oh. Well, nonetheless, they fought as well. So 20 days we'll talk to the Ottomans. Come on, get out of here. Need to go defend Egypt. Take back the canal that we have planned to build. Because it's going to fall back to the zone of influence. Defenders desert. They're still holding on. We'll be there in a month or so. He made it back to the party. We gotta scare him away from there. Canals for keeps. Have fun out there. You'll be receiving reinforcements soon. Be patient. Come with us if you wish. We're only dragging this war on into this year because of look, we won the war. It's just we want to protect our interest. Damn, we couldn't catch him. But we will on this one. They took the area, so the canal will fall. So again, I keep saying that, but I'm only using geographical terms. Get down here! See what I mean? Fourth zone of influence is falling. We're here to stop that. Some of you just distribute. Just sort out these reinforcements. Fighting our last couple of battles. No, no, no. This way. That way. Help them with this. we're just stalling for time while killing as many as possible before we will begin withdrawals, which, in fact, I think this is about as far as you go. So consider this as beginning of withdrawal. Time to go home. With all these diplomats freed up, so Utrecht, you're next. Reparations. Well, that's because of the blockade by Britain. Here on you. Reach it. Just take this damn fortress and then the canals for keeps. That's just the last action. And with that, this is the day we will stop that war. February 24th. After 5 years. 5 bloody years. Yes, I'm just happy that we made the French war enthusiasm low because we killed enough of them. And it was enough for the bloodletting. So I might as well just negotiate overall. After 5 years, I think it's enough. So let's clear the air here. So again, what you suggest is you want me to have these territorial gains. But I'll say no to that. Because what I really desire, Thrace will not be pillaged because I will be taking Thrace. Talking about Constantinople. We want the Suez Canal. And these cores to the Commonwealth and the Mamluks, fine by me. So these lands that the Commonwealth lost will be returned. Sorry, Mamluks, it looks like you're out of luck. And I don't know why these two this separated. I mean, obviously you're a weakened nation, so I'll take those off. Mamluks get nothing. And yes, these lands returned to Commonwealth. I like that because they were formerly our ally during the war. There is room to release a nation or two. Bulgaria's too big. Would have loved to see that. But if you were to do that, then that's too much for it. So perhaps some smaller entities. Like, say, oh, I don't know, Theodoro. And Trabzon. Just looking. Armenia is rather convincing. We be neighbors. Wish I would had Armenia as my vassal. And because of the strategic grounds of the mountains. Okay. So forget about Trebizond. So Theodoro for reasons. And I wish I were to give more to the Commonwealth. What ground's more valuable to you? There's nothing else. Just a couple of nations released and all that. And a coalition would still be too small to oppose us. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Let's end it on that note, because we've shed enough blood for this to last us a lifetime. We'll never see another war like that again for the rest of this series. Although I did say I wanted to end the series on a highly destructive note, and we did. So before I... Well, is there room for this? Well, I don't suppose you give us reparations, right? No. Okay. And a few ducats then. Okay. Okay. That's enough. So, there you have it. So, this is for the behalf of the entire alliance. Although the other entities do not mind because they got their own territorial gains. So, this area here will go to the Mughal Empire, and we will spend that money to create the Suez Canal. So that way we can intervene in European affairs much easier, while subsequently build 2 fortresses there to safeguard it. And Constantinople, well, what the hell am I doing with that is another question. Is it going to be for keeps, or should I give it to Commonwealth due to a closer link? And Theodoro is just going to be out there. Armenia, that'll be independent. I would guarantee the independence of Armenia under, you know, Mughal supervision. So, there you have it. The bloodiest war of the entire world. World War after 5 years exactly. Which we had to do it on a particular auspicious day. So... no more course to return. I could care less about the treaties that they know. They can ally whomever. Because there's never going to be another war like that. Oh, and just to finalize it, this peace will last until 1816, which lasts 4 years before, well, 5 years before 1820. It would not matter. We'll never see another war like that ever again. So, let's do it. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the biggest God-forsaken war. So, let me see. As it says, and we give the territories of the Commonwealth, because, again, they may have quit out the war, but they didn't lose. They got their territories back. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, have a look. Even though it's a glorious victory, but at what cost? So, how many million died? So, this is the total. And by the way, that minus thing, I think it's because it just really exceeded that, so... I think we just took more allied casualties than they did. So this is for combined losses, and I want you people to do the math here. Because, remember... Oh, actually, it's for this screen. Count the number of sailors that are on board for maintenance. For each and every one of them. Keep that well in mind. Plus, is it really that many sailors inside of a heavy ship, for example? Like a 3-decker? Yes. Yes, it does count. So I want you to count that well in mind while I have these 2 screens up. For the number of sailors combined with ships lost. For the Allied losses combined, 24 heavy ships lost. 197 light ships lost. 3 galleys lost. 155 transports sunk. Because I can't do the combined math of how many sailors on board that died along with that. Including those used in maintenance, because we just nearly exhausted all of ours. Because they're still at sea. Which they're going to have to remain in ports for a while. After all that. so, so for the combined Allied losses, 363,000 infantry lost, 360,000 cavalry, 319,000 artillery, 142,000 due to attrition for the infantry, over 76,000 for cavalry, over 94,000 for artillery, bringing up this total. 1.5 million losses in combat, with 313,000 losses due to attrition, giving us the total of 1,856,000 losses, while 379 ships lost combined. For Mughals, we nearly reached 1 million for this. Certainly due to attrition, but mostly by combat. The Vietnamese casualties was over 69,000, close to 70,000. Lan Nan losses were only over 7,000. Great Britain lost 170. No, god dang it, do your math. Say your numbers right, Lord Master. 168,000 losses for Britain. English Columbia over nearly 1,500. None for Cuba, but they've lost a few ships. None for British Brazil, but lost ships. 13 colonies did see combat during the late stages of the war, with only 3,000 losses, so Americans didn't suffer that much. Argentine only lost one light ship. It was just out on trade duty. British Alaskan, American led, on close to 4,000 losses, with 3 transport ship losses. British Louisiana lost 5,000 exactly. Newfoundland, over 10,000, with 13 ship losses. British Columbia, 10,000. Oh god, the Commonwealth. Here we go. Big numbers. 315,000 losses for the Commonwealth. And lost 40 ships. They fought very hard. Venetian losses was 129,000. 58 ships lost. Korea, prior to Japanese annexation, only lost 16,000. And now Japan, speaking of, 56,000 lost, with 27 ships lost. Mongolia lost 75,000. And then there's your total. Whereas the number of casualties really exceeded that for the enemy side. The Ottoman losses was 1,100,000, with 245 ships lost. Again, they're a lot more numerous, so bear with me. Brabant, 150,000. Brabantien. Terra Australia. No infantry losses, but lost by ships in combat. Plenty of it. Oh, there's France over there. Oh, then bear with us, okay? Florence, 148,000, with 27 ships lost. Bashkiria, 406. Thought there were a little more than that. Bukhara, over 99,000. Yarkand, 34,000 lost. Yas, just below 10,000. Yassi. Athenians only lost 7 ships. No infantry, no ground losses. Oh god, France, 445,000, with 66 ships lost for the French. Badenese lost 52,000. Milan, 28,000. Milanese, 28,000. You may have noticed uniforms keep changing every time, so you know what they look like during combat. Saxon casualties, 65,000. Leader of the Holy Roman Empire. Crimea only lost 27,000. Hormuzi, 11,000. Khorasan, just below 5,000. Chagatai Khanate, just 1,000. Austria, 24,000. Even though they were the first European power to quit out the war early due to a revolt in their homeland, which we took advantage of the peace deal to get them out. Oh boy. Genoa. The Genoese losses 51,000 with 73 ships. Papal States 16,000 with 31 ships. Lorrainian 37,000. Augsburg 24,000. Utrecht 13,000. Utrechian. Mohalsian losses 18,000. Chu, the first nation to surrender. No losses. We just took their territory and that was it for them. Brunswick 27,000 for Brunswickian losses. Memmingen losses 18,000. Two more to go. Dortmund with 8,000 losses with 6 ships. Revolutionary Holland 18,000 to 21 losses. Bringing this combined total for this number of casualties you see in this whole god-blasted war. Now I want you to think about those numbers of each of the ship types and the number of sailors lost. I mean, I could do my, calculating and all that, but again, what is there to say? 5 years of war. Based on those numbers, so I would say a definite yes. It has exceeded the minimum estimated casualties of the Napoleonic Wars of its entirety. So, ladies and gentlemen, peace has come. We've made some gains, but at what cost? We have exhausted all of our manpower reserves, which are still being reinforced on their way home. So God. Again, I feel horrible. I mean, yes, we wanted that great war a decade ago. And after 5 years of war, was it really worth it? For those lives lost? In fact, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I will close the episode with that image you see there. So, we hope you've enjoyed 5 years of 5 parts of the Great War, the war to end all wars in the Delhi Mughals series. And I will I'll definitely take a day off after this recording. I mean, episodes will still be posted, but definitely a day off. Alright. Because peace has prevailed. And do not forget, we have a canal to build. Which you can do that on the national decision, I believe. But actually you have to core it first before you can build it, I believe. So I'll tell you what I will do right now for myself. And I'm sure some of you will probably do the same thing as I do. Especially for the Mughal losses for us, because we're the ones that started the war. We're responsible for this. Had we lost that war due to white peace, or if we lost the war, our hegemon, economic hegemon, we would have lost it. But we won. Barely. But nonetheless, what I will do right now after this is, you know how in India, for the memorial of, the dead, funerary service in the military, like how in the United States we have taps, that tune. The British has the last post. Well, the Indians, you could add that to Mughal Empire to extent, because we're basically India by extent, that we would be playing the last post. Yeah, that's the tune that I would be playing in my head. So, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, salute to the homeland. Salute to all those that have lost their lives in this 5-year war that no one will ever forget. And those that survived, including our generals and admirals that lived to tell the tale, they'll never forget it either. And including during the reign of our Padishah Babur II, he'll never forget this day. Because 5 years ago, he was a young man. Now at 34, I think now at 18. And his old Padishah Begum, who we know stayed at home and probably heard all this horrific news that came from a land so far from home. Know that. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode in some way, and the past couple as well, as I will take a break from recording this series, and we will return next week. Croatia will return for a couple more episodes here on the Lord Master channel. So until then, so long for now. Salute. Jai Hind. Hindustan Zindabad. Victory to India. Long live Hindustan. Long live India. Jai Hind. We salute.